guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we've got Instagram chooses my reads, and I'm so excited for this because I've honestly been mood reading so badly. I honestly just need to take the option of choosing away from myself and just hand it over to you guys so you guys can choose for me instead. Now, truth be told, I was actually meant to film this last week but I ended up getting sick, and I don't know if you guys can hear it now, but I'm sick again. How does that happen? I have a bad immune system, but you guys have already chosen. So let's just go through what the options were. So the first two options were Defend the Dawn, which is the second book in Defy the Night series, and then Lightlock. So for Lightlock, I did the emoji of a heart in a rose, and for Defend the Dawn, I did a purple flower because, no, it's not on this cover, but the whole premise of it is that there's an illness in the kingdom, and this moon flower, purple flower, is the only thing that can save and cure it. And then I did a crown because it's all about the kingdom. And from that one, it was 63% voted for Lightlock. So Lightlock won out, and Defend the Dawn only got 37%. I think it's just because no one knew what Defend the Dawn was. But I'm actually really excited. And now that I've filmed that little bit, I'm going to put my bookmark back in because I actually started it this morning. And I have a really cute black bookmark to match and go with the vibes, and I actually love this cover. I love this cover so much, and Alex sent me this book herself, signed and with the cutest page overlay. Like, it's just so pretty. It's literally stunning. So this is the first book that you guys selected, which is Lightlock by Alex Astor. Then the next two options were Divine Rivals and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Now for The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I had no idea what to do for emojis. No, so I actually ended up doing a thought bubble and a magic wand because apparently Addie LaRue is cursed and anyone that she meets doesn't remember her, and like their memories are erased. So I did like thought bubble and magic. I felt like that was pretty good. Then for Divine Rivals, it was quite obvious. Did a letter in a typewriter, so it was very obvious. So of course Divine Rivals won by 63%, and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue got 37%. So that is the other selection that you guys have chosen, which is Divine Rivals. Divine Rivals has been on my TBR 3 times. I've actually started it. I got up to page 26 and I liked it. I liked what I read. This book just intimidates me, so I'm glad that you guys are holding me accountable, and this video is going to hold me accountable. Now the next two I am so excited about. We have The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez and Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and you guys chose accordingly. You guys chose right. I love Abby Jimenez. I have read Yours Truly and Part of Your World, both Infinity Star reads, but I haven't started her other series, The Friend Zone, which is just an interconnected standalone series. And of course 75% voted for Just for the Summer, which I ended up doing the emoji of the sun and the waves. And then The Friend Zone, I had no clue how to do this, so I actually just did a chapel because it's like the best man, and then a guy in a suit for the best man. I kind of did it dirty, but I really wanted to read Just for the Summer, and that is the third pick that you guys selected, so thank you. Now this one was actually kind of close. It was the closest tie that we've had, and the options were Done and Dusted and The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. So for this one, for The Rule Book, I did a football and a palm tree because there's literally a palm tree and it's about a football player. And then for Done and Dusted, I did cowboy, emoji, and a horse. Now Done and Dusted got 58% and The Rule Book ended up getting 42%. So you guys did choose Done and Dusted. But like I said, this was actually done and you guys chose this a week ago, and then I got sick. But I didn't want to put off reading, especially when I was sick, for a week. So I have actually read this. So we're only going to be reading 3 books in this video. I'm sorry, I actually didn't really end up liking this, so I'm kind of glad that I got to read it off of camera. This is more just like on the lower scale for me. I just didn't connect to it. I felt like nothing really happened. Yeah, I just didn't mesh with it. Didn't mesh with it. But thank you guys for selecting what I'm going to read this week. So this reading vlog is going to have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, Divine Rivals, and Lightlock. Now I am going to keep this spoiler free for the entire thing. Like I said, I am sick, so I don't know what this reading vlog is going to look like. I truly don't. I don't even know how long it's going to take me to read these 3 books, because for those of you that don't know, I actually wrote the Broken Fate series, and it is that time. It is that time, and I'm starting to write book 3. So I'm back to work, very busy on this Broken Fate project, and I'm very excited. So I'm just balancing reading and work and social media and obligations and social life and my beautiful boyfriend and my beautiful dog. So we shall see how it goes, and let's go dive into Lightlock. it is a couple of days later. I got really sick yesterday, so I'm just doing an update a couple of days later, like I literally just said. Now here's my Lightlock update. I am up to page 313. There's 400 pages, so I have 87 pages left, and I have to say I am shocked. I'm so incredibly shocked by how much I'm actually liking it, and that sounds like such a horrible thing, but look, I'm not stupid. We are all online. We all know that Lightlock receives hate. I have never heard what the hate is or the bad reviews. I just kind of don't really listen to it. So going in, I actually had really low expectations, and I haven't listened to negative reviews of Lightlock, and I think that's why I love it. Like right now, it's sitting at a 4.5 for me. I'm not quite sure if it's meant to be a love triangle, because I was telling my friends, I was like, guys, you have to read this. Like, I'm so shocked at how good this is. The writing is actually really good, and the fantasy, the story is so unique. Usually I like 50-50. It has to have a lot of romance in it, or at least like a driving plot of romance. And while there is romance, like we're up to page 300 and things are only just now kind of sparking between the two. Usually I don't really like that, and there's lots of world building, really good world building, and I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked at how much I like it. Short chapters, I'm flying through it really quickly. I'm just enjoying my time, and I think I'm enjoying it, like I said, because I went in with very low expectations. I didn't know what it was about really. I just knew that like they had to go to an island every 100 years so that they can break their deadly curses. Haven't heard any negative reviews because I just don't listen to it, and I was just so pleasantly surprised. One of my girlfriends did say that she thought that it was a love triangle, which I am yet to experience that. The only person that I think she could have a love triangle with, I actually see him as like a grandpa character. Kind of like low-key, that type of vibe, so I'm just not getting love triangle vibes. Nothing has happened to suggest love triangles, but great enemies to lovers. There's lots of betrayals, there's twists, there's turns, and this is YA, so you have to also go in knowing that is YA, but it's not written as YA. I think if you go in with very low expectations and you don't listen to the negative reviews, you will actually like it. If you go in wanting a freaking masterpiece, then you might not enjoy it. Not to say that it's not a masterpiece. I just went in with not expecting anything, and I've come out really pleasantly surprised. But yeah, so far I'm really liking it, and I'm really excited for this reading vlog because I'm getting through this book quite quickly. So I'm going to definitely finish this tomorrow. I've got my sister's birthday dinner tonight, which is why I'm all dressed up, which thank goodness I'm feeling better. Tomorrow, which is Friday, I'm actually not working, so I'm planning to finish this book and start another, maybe finish one. We don't know. I want to start maybe Divine Rivals. I'm gonna do Just for the Summer. I wanted to save Just for the Summer for last because I feel like it will be so good, it will put me in a reading slump, but I don't want to do Lightlock and then Divine Rivals because I don't want to do fantasy back to back. So, and I think I'll fly through that, and then I have the weekend, and I'm really excited. So started off low for me because I was sick. Now I just feel like I've started this video off really well. But yeah, I really am flying through it. Yesterday I think I read 170 pages. So yeah, that's the update. Let's just continue reading Lightlock. Beautiful people, I have finished Lightlock. Also, I just got a really cute book merch. Look at how cute it is. I love it. I've never really had book merch before, and I'm just like really excited. So I finished Lightlock, so let's discuss it. I ended up rating it 4.5, and I have so many thoughts on this book, like so many. So I want to start off with the elephant in the room. I'm very much aware that people don't like this book. I'm very much aware of the hate that this book gets. Now, I think I've cracked the code on why it gets hate. I never saw Alex's videos of her promoting her book in the first place, of like what garnered attention. I have now been told that she's compared it to Hunger Games, and that she was marketing it as Hunger Games. This is not Hunger Games. It's really not. So for the people that went in expecting Hunger Games and Miss Lovers, it's not. And Miss Lovers isn't really even there. It is, but it is not the focal point. The focal point is the fantasy. There is a riddle, if you will. A riddle, a curse that they have to crack and that they have to break. And also in my mind, when she says every 100 years an island appears and all the rulers have to go fight to break their deadly curse, I'm thinking like Hunger Games, when they get sent to the island, they're all there, they're all killing each other. That is not the vibe. The island that appears is actually the island that everyone lives on. Just the wildlings and Nightshade aren't on it, so it is not that vibe. So I think that there is a lot like of misconception in the sense of what people automatically think of a book, but this is actually all the rulers going there, and there is a riddle that they have to crack. Now throughout that, there's 100 days of where the centennial commences, and in that there is trials. These trials are actually just the rulers showing off their magic and what they can do. There's no death, there's no like fighting, but there is, in the prophecy, in the riddle that they have to crack, they know that one of the rulers has to die. That's the only thing that really like comes into play of death in a sense. So I understand the expectations that people have going into this now that I've read it, because it's just not that. It's really not that. But little things that I have heard people talk hate about, like how she compares the sun to the yolk, that is for a reason. And I know that you read the book. I know you did, because you're hating on it, and unless you skim read, which I'm thinking that you did skim read, it was for a reason. I can't say anything more without giving it away, but I really like this. If you go in with very low expectations thinking that this is a fantasy book, it is 90% fantasy, 95% fantasy, like 5% romance. I think that romance is coming in book 2. It is there in book 1, it's just not predominant. I think it's going to be predominant in book 2. If you go in with very low expectations, you go in thinking that this is a fun fantasy quest where they have to come together to crack this like riddle and to break their curses, you're going to love it. If you go in thinking it is Hunger Games, enemies to lovers, you're going to be disappointed, because that's just not what the book is. Now, because I didn't have any expectations going in, because I didn't know anything, I loved it. So if you can go in with low expectations, going in blind, like complete blind, clean slate, you will love this book. And her writing is really good. It's got short chapters, it's fast paced, like I really couldn't put it down. So I just like, it's disappointing to see the hate, but I do understand it in the sense that I think it's just miscommunication and how it was marketed. That's it. But I really loved it. And now onto my most highly anticipated read. I was thinking about doing Divine Rivals, but then I was like, I don't want to do fantasy back to back with fantasy. So we're doing Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and that is my beautiful bookmark that you just saw go flying. I have started it. I'm 80 pages in. I didn't film yesterday. I didn't get much into yesterday because I actually got a really bad visual migraine. Beginning how I was sick, and I think because I was just so congested here, I'm getting really bad visual migraines. That is beside the point. I am loving it. I am loving it, and I'm so excited to just sit down and just freaking read this and binge it. I think I'm gonna be able to binge it tomorrow. But I'm so excited and I'm really loving it. And yeah, that is it. That is it for the update. Now we're on to Just for the Summer. So excited for this book. So if those of you that don't know, Part of Your World and Yours Truly back to back were Infinity Stars for me. I didn't read it back to back, but in the series Infinity Stars, I've never had that before, especially for romance. Like I've just never had that before. Interconnected standalone romances, never had Infinity back to back, and it's just perfection. So I've got high expectations for this book, which I'm nervous about, but I'm 80 pages in and I'm loving it. So our characters are Justin and Emma. Emma is a travel nurse, so she gets to pick where she goes, and basically the premise of this book is that Justin has a curse, and thanks to a Reddit thread, it's now all over the internet. Every woman he dates goes on to find their soulmate the second they break up. When a woman slides into his DMs with the same problem, they come up with a plan. They'll date, break up, and cancel out each other's curses. So that's what's happening at the moment. And at the moment, Emma just moved to Minnesota, which is where Justin is, and God, I really think that this book is going to hit me emotionally, like really going to hit me emotionally, because of what happens with their family and their home life. Abby Jimenez always has these beautiful romances with like these underlining like gut-wrenching things, and this is going to be very, how do I put this, relatable. I'm scared. I think this is gonna hurt. Yours Truly was relatable for the anxiety rap. Part of Your World, not relatable, but oh my god, that was my favorite. I'm very nervous, very scared, but I'm liking it so far, and I'm just really excited. it is the next day. We have some Abby Jimenez updates. First, this is some more of the book merch that I got, which this isn't book merch, it's a cute jumper. But I did get this. Look at how cute it is. Granted, I should be wearing it, but it's actually quite thin, and this is a lot thicker, and it's freezing in Australia right now, so I'm sorry, but this jumper just isn't cutting it for winter. But because I'm reading Abby Jimenez, obviously I wanted to show you my Abby Jimenez book merch, which I've never gotten book merch like for a specific person before, and I feel like this should show you guys how much I love Abby Jimenez. So with that being said, let me give you guys a little quick reading update. So I am 142 pages in. I've read 60 since the last time I saw you guys, but I do want to say, so Part of Your World and Yours Truly was Infinity Stars for me. So obviously I had high expectations, and I was a little bit scared going into this because I was like, I'm gonna love it as much as I love the others, and I definitely loved it. I was getting a 5-star feel, but not Infinity Star feel. Like, definitely felt the 5 stars, was immaculate, but I'm like, oh no, like, I think because I just read Part of Your World before this, and I think because the last book I read was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and that is like top tier my favorite romance of all time, and I was like, oh my god, it's not gonna compare. The Infinity Stars is brewing. It is brewing, okay? It is brewing. I never thought I'd say this, but I am swooning over a J name man. Like, crazy. So it was about like 40 pages ago, so about 100 pages in that I was like, okay, here's the Infinity Stars. And just a lot of emotional stuff going on. I feel like this one I'm going to relate to a lot, which I think I already touched on, but it's starting. It is starting, and I'm starting to feel the feels. And also I found a little bit of insight for Emma and how she felt towards her mum and her feelings. I was like, I was judging her so hard, and then this little teeny tiny thought in my brain was like, you did this, you do this, and I was like, that's why I was judging her so freaking hard, because I do it. I'm judging myself. Abby Jimenez is so incredibly talented. I don't know how she writes these like beautiful, cute, swoon-worthy men, because they're adorable and they're cute and they remind me of these cute freaking Labrador puppies, but then they're sexy and like it gives everything. It just gives everything, and I'm just so anyways, it is going good. The Infinity, at least, you know what, 6 stars is brewing. We have 5 stars, we have 6 stars, and then we have Infinity, and we're at the 6-star line and we're working our way to Infinity. So I dare say once I get to 50%, it'll be Infinity. Abby Jimenez is just wise. Like, the lessons that you learn in her freaking romance books are insane. Her work always hits because there's just always like such a deeper meaning to her romances and like stories, and it's just absolutely insane. I swear to God, I want to meet this woman because she's just so wise and I love her, and I feel like we can all learn something from Abby Jimenez. Do you want to know why I chose to wear this jumper today? Maybe it's because I want to talk to you about my recent Infinity Star read. Okay, so it is official. 3 books out of this interconnected standalone universe. We've got Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and then Just for the Summer. All three of them were Infinity Stars. I think that that is absolutely insane. It is pure insanity. I've never ever had that happen in the 3+ years I've been reading, the 400 books that I've read. I've never had a Infinity Star read of a romance back to back to back to back of reading an author's work. It is insane. So I'm gonna like walk you through, because I didn't really chat to the camera as I was reading this because I just wanted to enjoy it. About 100 pages. It was a little bit slow, but then I slowly started getting into it, and I was like, you know what, it's like 5 stars around here, maybe not Infinity. Then we quickly went on to 6 stars, and then we hit Infinity at the end, because not only is this interconnected standalone series books, but it is also just like the way that it is connected in these books. In this book specifically at the end, if you've read this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't say anything because I can't give it away, but I just wasn't expecting it to happen. Like, it felt like a plot twist in a way, and it was a plot twist, but it just was so shocking. I was like, what is actually happening? It was so amazing. I had full body chills. I remember when I read that part, I was in the bath and I was like, what the f. I wouldn't change a single thing about this. This is why it is Infinity Stars. And Abby, girl, I hope that you are working real hard on that keyboard, because I want another book. I want another book. Justin was just perfect in this. He was so perfect. And this is for all the acts of service girlies. He is for all the acts of service girlies. And there's something that happens. Oh my god, I just remembered. This is also the part that made it Infinity Stars. I actually believe it was this part. If you don't want a cute little spoiler, please fast forward. I will put a timestamp here and you guys can fast forward to that time. But if you guys want a little incentive to read this book, stick around. Emma is a nurse, and Justin and her, for some reason or another, kind of were a little bit rocky, and they were meant to have a date. And she didn't make it to the date because she got violently ill, but she actually started to become dehydrated in the worst possible way, just completely like all gone. Her roommate wasn't there and she's like on an island. This man, this fine, scrumdiddlyumptious man, got on a flamingo floaty and paddled for an hour to get to her. An hour on a flamingo floaty. I don't mean to yell at you, but like I actually do. Go buy this book. Infinity Stars. I don't really have anything else to talk about because it's just so amazing. I do encourage everyone to go into it blind. Now, I want to touch on the reading order for Abby Jimenez. I started with Yours Truly. I don't know if you guys can see this one. I read Yours Truly first. I'm actually very grateful that I did. It is the second book, and there is one chapter that does mention, like I said, it's interconnected. It does mention the couple from the first book, Part of Your World. But Part of Your World, I think, still is my favorite personally. And I think if I went in with Part of Your World first and went on to Yours Truly wouldn't have been Infinity Stars, because Part of Your World I think is better than Yours Truly, but still Infinity Stars because I read Yours Truly first. So I actually really recommend reading Yours Truly first, the second book, and then going on to read Part of Your World, and then read Just for the Summer. Any person that ever says that you can read this book without reading the other two is doing you so dirty. They are lying to your face and they want you to suffer. I'm not even kidding. I even had someone do that to me. I am side-eyeing you massively. Anyways, there's no way that you can read this book without reading the other two. You can't. It won't have the same reading experience. It just won't. So go read the others. And that's all. Now on to Divine Rivals. Bye! On my iPad. I'm 44% in on Divine Rivals. I actually ended up purchasing it on Kindle. I just read Kindle on my iPad. It's my cute boyfriend. And I'm 44% in. I would DNF it if it wasn't for this video. Like, I'm not kidding. And what has ended up happening is that I have tried to read this book for the whole freaking week and it's just not happening. It's just not happening. I am currently 160 pages in, there's 359, and I just want to DNF. I'm just not connecting to it as much. I don't feel the pull. Also, it must be said, it's not a bad book. I'm just not emotionally connecting to the characters in the way that when I put the book down, I don't have the urge to pick it up. When I pick it up, I'm like, yeah, like this is fine. It's just like meh, it's average. And I'll read like 20 pages, 30 pages, then I'll put it down. And then like the rest of the day, I just don't read it. It's just not giving. And I don't know why. I can't even express to you why I'm not emotionally connecting to it. I actually did kind of go in with low expectations. I was scared of it, but I did go in like low expectations fantasy wise, romance. I was just like, yeah, like it's okay when I read it, but it's just that. It's just okay. And I put it down and I just don't care to pick it up. There's the bark monster. Let's see how we go. Let's just get this freaking book over with. I'm so sorry for the people that love it. I don't know why I'm not loving it, but anyways, hopefully it turns around. Divine Rivals. Hallelujah. Do you know why? Because this has been on my TBR 3 times. I've started it once and I finally finished it. And you know what? I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off. I did not love this as much as the internet loves this, which I'm so fucking sad about. You have no idea. So let's just like break this down real quick, okay? I ended up rating this 3 stars. In all honesty, it's probably like 2.75, but that's being like real nitpicky. Whoa, but that has been extremely nitpicky, so I'm gonna land on a 3. And I actually have some quite controversial takes on this. Everyone loves the romance in this, but they don't love the fantasy aspect. You know, reverse. I love the fantasy in this, I didn't like the romance in this. Now, I'm not a words of affirmation girly. Don't get me wrong, I love it when my boyfriend compliments me and tells me that he loves me, but I am not a girly that fell in love with these characters through letters. I'm not. I love the fantasy aspect because, truth be told, I'm not going to go on to read the second book. I actually just had one of my friends, Tegan, just tell me what happened in the book. Because this ended on a cliffhanger. And I was like, I don't want to read the second, but I need to know. And I actually really liked the fantasy. I love the myths that were happening. I love the gods, mythological creatures. And while you didn't see them, you heard about them. And it does have like a historical feel to it, which I'm quite surprised about because I thought that I didn't like historical fantasy romances, but this has made me think that maybe I do. Maybe I can dip my toes into it. The thing is, I was reading this going, this is a good book. For the first 120 pages, I really liked it. That has been going off all morning. The first 120, 130 pages, I actually really liked the book. Do you know why? Because there was human interaction between them. They were in front of each other, they were rivals, they were working together. Then everything changed and then it was just 3 letters. So how this blah, 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 blah. Okay, first 150 pages they were together, they were rivals, they were working at the same newspaper, I forgot the word. Then something happened and Iris decides to gallivant off to another location. I'm not going to say why. Then for the rest of the book, I would say like 200 pages, it is, or 150, it is 3 letters. And this is where their romance bloomed. So their romance isn't developed in front of each other. And then when he came back, I was like, oh yeah, it's getting interesting. But then they just went on and they were like, I love you. And I was like, no. Because I just didn't fall in love or feel the love of them falling in love through the letters. I just didn't. I'm so sorry. I know it's romantic. This is for the words of affirmation girlies. If you guys think that you can fall in love with a character through letters, this is you. But I need characters to be having interactions. And the beginning was great because they were interacting. The rest wasn't. And then once they were interacting, they were loving each other and saying, I love you. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like you guys were just rivals and you haven't even had a conversation. I just think I personally couldn't emotionally connect to these characters and their romance love story because there wasn't a lot of interaction between them. And it was 3 letters, which is cool. It's a really great concept. It was done well. It was executed well. I just didn't connect. I didn't. If I connected, I would have loved it, but I just didn't connect. I just realized I read like 3 of the most popular BookTok books. I have completed the Instagram Chooses My Reads for a week, which ended up being 2 weeks because this puppy right here took me a really long time to get through. Anyways, we have a Infinity Star read, which you know what? I call this video a success purely because we have a Infinity Star read. Hello, and they are rare. They are not given out like M&Ms. Then we have Lightlock, which I ended up rating 4 stars, I think might be 4.5. I think I'm going to settle on 4.25. We have a 3-star read. And you know what? I think that this video was a lot of fun. Please like and comment down below if you guys like my reading vlogs because I actually love creating reading vlogs, but I don't know if you guys want reading vlogs. That is besides the point. But just let me know in the comments down below if you guys like this, and thank you so much for watching. I hope I see you guys soon. Mwah! Bye!